Hey, what's up guys, John here. Millions and millions of homeowners, property owners, and investors will soon lose their buildings and their life's work inside of the state of California due to a new set of laws that are now being worked on. In Los Angeles, for example, they're working to pass a new law which will give tenant attorneys a $5 million per month budget to go after landlords. $5 million a month. In addition to that, they're working on capping how much a single family home could legally be rented for, how much apartments could be legally rented for.
Limits on rent increases go into effect in California.
Cities in the southeast region of LA County are enacting rent control measures.
And then also pushing forward a lot of new green energy upgrades for these property owners that can no longer be passed on to a tenant. So the landlord has to absorb the cost on a property in which they can't basically make any money from.
Big changes are coming to solar power in California to update incentives for owners of apartment buildings, schools, and businesses that install solar panels.
Now, when you start to pay attention to how this entire situation is unfolding, they say California homelessness, it's an epidemic. It's a horrible, horrible thing. And I think a lot of people would agree homelessness in California, it's a nightmare for everybody, right? It's a really bad situation that needs to get solved.
Homeless crisis is magnified in the Golden State.
More than 1/4 of all people experiencing homelessness in the United States live in the state of California.
The state had the largest rate of increase in its homeless population in the country.
But their proposed solution is stripping property rights from property owners, not allowing them to evict a tenant that doesn't pay rent, and basically pushing people into these homes. Now, California's proposed a new plan called a master leasing plan, where property owners and landlords, they could avoid some of this headache by simply giving the property to the state of California, and then they maybe get a check at the end of the month.
County, in partnership with LOS, are going out and actually working with building owners and bringing on units where they are going in the direct relationship with the property owner. And then we are subletting to folks that have formerly experienced homelessness.
But is that actually going to happen? Or if they sign this master lease deal, could these property owners lose their properties? Because who are they going to sue? Are they going to sue the county of Los Angeles over a contract that they have signed with the county of Los Angeles? I mean, this situation it's a disaster. I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to show you the facts, show you the laws, show you how this whole thing's working. It's even on whitehouse.gov, some of these goals. So I'm going to break it down for you. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. YouTube will share the content. Educate more people about what's going on in our crazy country. I mean, this country it's gone crazy the last couple of years. I think the next few years are just going to be unbelievable. Take a look at this. So Gavin Newsom did this publicity stunt, right? It's him, he's cleaning up trash. It looks like under an underpass. You hear the drive-by traffic. See this shade here, right? Then he pushes out this shopping cart. What this is basically to do is not to tell us that he's doing something, because we all know he's not. What it's there to do is to let us know that they're getting ready for radical change in the state of California, and that's what that video encompasses. Look at this.
Job. She's been a great partner. You're seeing that down 10.4%, over 10% decline in unsheltered homeless population last year.
Over 10% decline is what he's saying. Well, in 2022, according to LA Times, homelessness was 41,980. And in 2024, they said it was 46,260, right? So according to them, the mainstream media, it's actually increased about 5,000. But according to the city of Los Angeles, they're saying that it's at a 6-year low. So they could be right, they could be wrong. I guess we'll see. But look at this plan. This came out yesterday, August 8th. LA's plan to give renters free eviction attorneys as a right moves forward. And this plan, LA's housing department has estimated that a fully funded right to counsel could cost the city $68 million a year. It's over $5 million a month, over $5 million a month in just LA. Now, they said in 2023 that it's going to be $68 million. That's what they're going to need per year, right? And this is the path forward. This is what they're going to be moving into, is this $68 million. Now, low-income tenants to receive free attorneys when facing eviction under LA County plan, right? This is July. So now it's moving full steam ahead. Even in Orange County, they're saying what we found in studies is that there's a disparity or a delta of about $300 to $500 that would keep people housed If we can use the money intelligently, it's 1/10 the cost of what we'd spend once somebody is on the street. Now, let's remember, on whitehouse.gov, where you can see the URL right here, whitehouse.gov, May 18th, 2023, they said that they want to reduce homelessness, set a bold goal to reduce homelessness 25% by next year, and ultimately build a country where every person has a safe and affordable home. And they said right here, through the All Inside Initiative, the U.S. Interagency Council on Homelessness and its 19 federal members agencies will partner with the state and local governments to strengthen and accelerate local efforts to get unsheltered people into homes in Chicago, Dallas, LA, Phoenix, Metro, Seattle, and the state of California. Now, how are they going to get people inside of homes and reduce homelessness? They're going to be bringing forward on a national level different landlord-tenant laws. You already heard the 5% rent caps and talking about a national rent control. Well, the state of California is the perfect state for this new movement to begin, so it could be pushed to other states. Now, here's how this is going to work. Look at this, April 16th, just a few months ago. April 16th in Santa Monica, they said Santa Monica's Office of Sustainability and the Environment will hold a webinar to further discuss Santa Monica's move towards mandating all electric appliances in all existing residential buildings. Timelines include full electrification with requirements starting as early as this year and many additional ones starting in 2025. We urge all AAGLA members with residential rental properties of any type, including multifamily, single-family, accessory dwelling units, and condominiums in Santa Monica to attend the webinar tomorrow and voice your strong opposition to this extremely costly required transition for property owners and renters to full electrification of existing residential buildings, right? Well, they came out with this. This was I've actually covered this last year. The day it came out, I was covering saying this is going to be coming. And then you have April, it's already happening. But this is what's going to be unfolding in California. It says they'll prohibit property owners subject to the rent stabilization ordinance from passing the cost of decarbonization retrofits onto their tenants. So the landlord has to absorb that cost. Eliminate provisions in the LA Municipal Code that allows landlords to evict tenants in order to renovate their properties. Strengthen enforcement and oversight of existing tenant protection measures. If LA City provides subsidies to landlords for building decarbonization, require enforceable agreements from those landlords to protect tenants from rent increases and evictions. Require that landlords prioritize retrofits that improve tenants' health and quality of life, such as appliance electrification and ventilation improvements. Ensure that the appropriate position or portion of energy savings from conservation or efforts such as rooftop or community solar is credited to tenants' accounts. Create an oversight body of current tenants and community leaders to ensure the policy benefits frontline communities and low-income renters. Promote housing models that better protect tenants, including publicly owned housing, deeply affordable deed-restricted housing, and community land trust. So you see the trend. And then look at this. This is what they're working on right now. It's called Proposition 33. Proposition 33 is heavily funded by the AIDS Health Care Foundation. They're putting $19.5 million into this. And it's you can see some of their donors, but it's mainly backed by the AIDS Health Foundation. And this looks like this is going to be, and it's also backed by Bernie Sanders and a lot of, heavily powerful people inside of politics. It says nearly 30% of California renters spend more than half of their income on rent. And so what they're proposing to do is this. Many cities, including San Francisco and LA, limit the amount a landlord can raise the rent each year, a policy known as rent control. But for nearly 30 years, California has imposed limits on those limits via a law known as Costa-Hawkins. Cities cannot set rent on single-family homes or apartments built after 1995, and landlords are free to set their own rental rates when new tenants move in. If Proposition 33 passes, that would change. Cities would be allowed to control rents on any type of housing, including single-family homes, new apartments, and for new tenants. It's a disaster. And this situation, this is by the AIDS Health Foundation. This is the person that is pushing forward to bring forward tenant rights. Look, if you're looking at things from a money capitalism type of powerful, trying to seize power, becoming as powerful as you possibly can, you'd look at it and say, look, the easiest way to do this, it wouldn't be to go out there in a free market and compete and go try to, win this game against a bunch of other investors. It would be to bring forward laws and bring forward rules to push investors out of business to acquire market share, and do it through, being inclusive and hitting all these buzzwords. That's exactly what's happening in California with this. You think he's going to be sitting in a rent-controlled studio apartment, or you think he's going to be on a yacht as this entire thing starts working out? I mean, I would argue that at the end of this, he would be a lot richer, right? And a lot of people will be a lot richer, but not a lot of these mom and pop property owners. They're going to lose their shirts on this entire situation. Now, they talked about this new plan called social housing, right? Social housing, where essentially it looks something kind of like this, where, look at this. So this social housing program, it's LA's master leasing program to tackle homelessness. To curb chronic homelessness and support people who are often shut out of the rental market, Los Angeles is pursuing an established strategy with a new twist, master leasing. In February, the LA City Council unanimously approved a plan to pursue a master leasing program. With this approach, a master leaser, the government in LA's case, but often a local nonprofit, aka AIDS Health Foundation, rents a block of units or even an entire building from a private landlord and subleases them to tenants who might otherwise struggle to qualify for a rental unit due to a history of legal or financial issues. What are the odds? Homelessness or mental health problems or substance abuse. The goal is to get people off the streets quickly and for good. There's absolutely no barrier. A consultant that helped draft the policy and the former chief program officer for LA Family Housing, a mass provider of housing and homelessness services in LA. You literally can move someone from the street to a home same day. This is what's going to happen. This is what's unfolding. You look at how California has been run just the last couple of years. It's a disaster. I saw this video today. It's like these people, they break down this gate, right? They break down this gate, throw the gate right on the floor or right on the sidewalk, and they steal the motor for this electric gate here, right? And they throw it right inside of a Kia. They take the license plates off of it, and it's free for all. Maybe they'll sell that for $1,000, $2,000, whatever they sell it for. And consequence for committing that crime? Basically nothing. I mean, you look at LA crime, 8 sentence for series of smash and grabs. Sentence, it's probably going to be a slap on the wrist. Let's be real. Look at California. You look at what's happening in San Francisco. A lot of people that are committing crimes, the cost of getting caught, is very small compared to the reward of getting away, right? They took 1.7 million. It's a free-for-all in the state of California. And when they walk into a solution of saying, look, is housing a human right? Saying that we're going to be providing this solution. Look at what they're providing for the people of California. No one's felt less safe in that state ever, right? No one's felt their business has probably never been in as bad a shape as it is in right now due to all these solutions that were provided by the state of California. Now, I personally believe we're going to see millions of property owners that are no longer going to be able to hold on. You think about it. To electrify a property, it's not 10 grand, 20 grand. You're talking on a single family home. In 2018, a small little house was like 85, 90 grand before inflation, right? Before inflation. Now it might be twice that. Labor costs have gone up. Everything's went up. Look at insurance. Insurance companies are pulling out of California. Insurance is going up. So if you have insurance going up, you have the cost of materials, everything's going up. You have less property rights. You can't push the cost onto the tenant. Borrowing costs have went from 3% to 6%. Interest rates. Everything is going against landlords right now. I believe if you are someone that wants to invest in California real estate, you're definitely going to get your opportunity probably in the next year or so, as we see a lot of people get pushed completely out of the business and a lot of distress unfolds. I think we're going to learn a lot about what's going to happen in California, and you'll be able to use that information to underwrite your deals correctly given the risk that people are going to be soon facing to invest. What do you think about this entire situation, this scenario? Do you think we're walking into a disaster that is likely going to be spreading to other states, like New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, Boston? A lot of these cities, run kind of hand in hand. What policy happens here generally goes there, and it kind of bounces around. And it's usually a collection of 10 or 12 cities that then soon, change the way in which our country runs. I mean, you look at it. That's basically how it works. You have San Francisco, Los Angeles, all the big cities. When they adopt all these policies, it just starts to spread out from those cities more locally, more locally, more locally. And before you know it, a large chunk of the entire country starts to adopt it. Let's have a conversation about this below. If you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for funding, I believe there's going to be a lot of opportunity, not just in real estate, but I believe there's going to be a lot of opportunity across a lot of different sectors over the next year or so as people start really, really feeling the pinch as what's happening. We'd love to help you if you have credit issues, late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, any issue at all like that in your credit report, go to greatcreditfast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free call for tomorrow. Check out our reviews on Trustpilot.